Sweet Jesus, we have a national crisis on our hands. We have to think about the children. The manga could soil their minds. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Prophet Taku, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today's topic is banned manga. With the issue of Assassination Classroom in the last couple days, it got my brain juices flowing going, I wonder what other banned manga is out there. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at banned manga from around the world, the controversy that surrounds manga like Assassination Classroom, and also my personal opinion on the matter. Stay tuned. And before we get started today, as always, if you enjoy these types of videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get notified when the next discussion video goes up. And leave a comment down below, what are your personal opinions on the banned manga controversy? I'm genuinely curious on y'all's opinion. You know, it's a really sensitive subject, but I hope we can create an open dialogue about it. So let's talk about the most recent controversy in the banned manga subject, and that is Assassination Classroom. Gifford Middle School in Eastern Florida, as well as Elmwood School District in Wisconsin, removed Assassination Classroom from their electronic catalog of books. With the current events going around with guns and school shootings in the United States, the big controversy surrounding Assassination Classroom was that parents were concerned that this manga was promoting violence towards teachers. Now, this is not the first instance of banned manga in the United States. Just last year in 2022, there was a big debacle between Texas with Goblin Slayer. Matt Shaheen, a Republican representative in the Houston area, said that Goblin Slayer was an obscene book that needed to be removed from schools. He even went so far to say that anyone who believes that this is acceptable is mentally ill. We will be going after the vendors that sold this trash to Texas children. And there are many instances of manga being banned around the world. In 2014, Malaysia banned the Ultraman manga. The problem here was the use of the word Allah, which is a very prominent god in the Muslim religion, but the way that they were using it in the Ultraman manga was considered heretical to the Malaysian country. Pokemon, a childhood classic, was banned in 2001 in Saudi Arabia for the depiction of Christian values and gambling. It was something that Saudi Arabia did not want their children to absorb. This reaction by Saudi Arabia drew criticism from the US during this Pokemon craze of 2001, as they did not believe that this remotely promoted gambling. Death Note, a classic manga and anime, was banned in China due to its supernatural methods of killing people and the terrifying illegal substance in this manga. China issued the ban of Death Note and other horror stories like it to protect the physical and mental well-being of the students. Similar proposals to ban Death Note were also made in New Mexico and Russia, but both were denied. Even more interesting, Barefoot Gen, a historical manga that was used as teaching material in Japan about World War II, was banned in school districts across Japan for its depiction of the poor social class. There are several instances of violence and derogatory terms directed towards the poor social class, and 13 school districts in Japan said no more. We do not want these values instilled in our children. Swinging back to the good old United States, in 2009, Maryland's Wicomico County public school system was able to ban Dragon Ball. A county council member was able to pull this manga from the school district due to the sexual nature of the manga. All the little sexual innuendos between children and adults, it was just very inappropriate for that school district. In 1999, a parent had actually complained to the news describing the Dragon Ball Z manga as softcore porn, and because of this incident, Viz actually pulled all the Dragon Ball Z manga off the shelves and subsequently censored the manga for the rest of its releases. This same complaint about the sexual nature of the reading material was also presented in San Bernardino, California, when they pulled the compendium of manga, 60 Years of Japanese Comics. The big complaint about this book was that there were a couple of really graphic sexual scenes, including one with a hamster, which I don't know anything about. And finally, in Japan, there was a crackdown on racy manga, and there is an immediate cease of publication of Welcome to Sugar Pot. This immediate cease of publication for this manga and other manga like it was due to the passing of Tokyo's Youth Healthy Development Ordinance, which put harmful publications in its sight. So as you can see, this is not just a United States issue, this is a global issue, and it really brings up the question of what is ethical and what is not ethical. What is considered freedom and expression of art, but where is that line where it's just, hey, this is too far? My personal opinions on the subject is that there needs to be a separation separation between the art form and the actions that are depicted in it. What I mean is that, for example, Assassination Classroom is a manga. It is a comic created for entertainment purposes, and though it does depict a very graphic and violent type of scenario where you're trying to kill your teacher, that doesn't make me personally want to do that action. Look at it from the perspective of video games. There's been numerous studies done on the chemistry of children's brains from playing violent video games, and there's no correlation between the violence of school shootings or school violence or just violence in general and these children playing video games. But flipping on the other side of it, I definitely see the issue when it comes to the type of content presented in Japanese manga and anime and how we perceive it in the United States. Japan is not afraid to push that boundary, and here in the United States, we just see things a little bit differently. With that in mind, I really do think that there needs to be a more vetted process, a more strict guideline on what is age appropriate when rating manga. Right now, it's just a free-for-all out there. You can put anything on the shelf and it's super accessible. For example, I see Berserk in school libraries, and that shouldn't even be close to being on a shelf. Coming to the discussion table with that in mind, I think that's just the best way to be able to get the most age appropriate content for children. It's not that we have to go so far as to ban things like this, but it's definitely something that needs to be on our radar moving forward with manga. I think everyone agrees that we want everybody to enjoy manga. We want to continue to expand our industry and people's enjoyment of manga, but we can also agree that there is definitely some things that a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, even a 15-year-old probably shouldn't be reading in the manga world. As the climate of education continues to change in America, school boards are becoming more prominent, teachers are being hovered over by administration, we're going to see more issues like this start to arise. Having to differentiate between what is inappropriate, what is educational, and what is entertainment is going to be a really interesting line that is going to be addressed in probably the next 5 years. My hope is that as Japanese culture becomes more prominent in America, these school boards, these parents who are fighting against this stuff, at least approach it with an open mind. They at least want to absorb what this stuff is about, and if they make their decision after the fact, I totally respect it. So this is a plea from Profitaku. Give it a chance. I understand the concern, but you'll see that it's not as bad as you necessarily think. As always, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.